Hey, so this is kind of crazy, but I had an idea that I thought it would be really fun if I could host a live stream that lives on my channel as a video. And if you hop in, you hop in. And if you watch it later, you watch it later. But the goal of this is to pick up our current reads and just hang out and read together. So I figured, depending as people like pop in or whatever, we can kind of hang out, chat, and then I'm gonna set timers and like facilitate reading sprints where for 15 minutes at a time, we are just reading. So if you are sitting on your couch right now, go grab your book, go get it, and we're gonna hang out and we're gonna do some reading. I did kind of want to start off because I cheated a little bit and I went to my not so local comic book shop yesterday and I found Chachu issue 1, which I thought this was like a lost hope for me. I didn't think I was going to get it. So, kind of crazy to have found it. And I didn't even know this variant existed. So, I might get into that today. I'm also still sitting on Daredevil, haven't read that, and a few other pulls from this week's New Comic Book Day at my LCS. When I found Chachu, I also went back and I found the Invincible team up cover for Blood and Thunder way back in, March. And I thought that this was a cool find. And I was really optimistic that I'd get it because my current read that I'm trying to finish up right here, right now with you is Invincible Compendium #1. So let's grab our books and let's do some reading. Does that sound good to you? Get a beverage, get a snack. I'm going to set a timer and we're going to do 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes on the clock. Let's go. I'm on issue 38 of Invincible. I'm not going to spoil anything, but my goal is to make a huge dent, if not finish the book. So that's where we're at. We are like halfway through the 15-minute reading sprint. Issue 38 ended with such a bang that I have been waiting for. Let's continue. Phenomenal timing. 15 minutes, and I finished exactly the final page of my issue. Yeah, on to 40 when I pick it back up. Let's see what everybody is up to. What's up? Hello? Yo, I just got my coffee. This is perfect. Welcome, Zach. Action Comics trade? That sounds cool. Manga backlog because that's bigger than my US comics right now. Reading my manga TBR. Hi Taylor. Hey. Okay, that's cool. What else are people reading? I'd love to hear what you guys are picking up. And like, is anybody just reading like this week's single issues, or are you mostly all working on big things? I also want to point out that it is just my luck. My neighbors are out front moving out of their entire house right now, and I don't know how much of that you can hear, but I can hear them having like a good time, which I guess is good because moving is not fun. So at least their like spirits are up. And then I've also got Buck. He's right here on like the guest room bed, and he's just like zonked out. So if I ever just like quickly mute myself, it's because he starts freaking out at the neighbors. We're working on it. He's only 2. My massive absolute universe backlog. Haven't been able to read my singles in months. Oof, but you're still picking them up. So you're creating like a double backlog. That is kind of tough. Zach, currently reading Daredevil to Heaven Through Hell, really getting so much more into Daredevil. No, me too. I didn't read this week's Daredevil yet by Stephanie Phillips, and I want to. I really, really want to. That's why it's on the desk right now. It's so cool. We got so many people who are just hanging out and reading. Are we ready to do another sprint? Does anybody want like a 30-second warning for like go get a snack, go get a blanket, go get some water, go pick your next book up? Maybe? Hey, thanks gamers M9273. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. I guess while you guys are getting ready for that next sprint, look, I found the second Invincible compendium on Facebook Marketplace this week for $40, and I am stoked on that because, yeah, so normally 65, I paid 35, I paid 40. I'm so into A, being able to like get the book immediately, B, like not contribute to like excessive waste or spending or production of things, and C, like have that money go to somebody in my community. Like if my local shop doesn't have the book, I would so much rather I bought this from Alfredo for $40, and who knows what Alfredo's going to spend his $40 on, but now he's got it, and like another person just gets to enjoy the book that he enjoyed, and I think that's pretty cool. So don't underestimate the power of like Facebook Marketplace, and honestly, same vein like your local libraries when you're looking for books, because you can really cut down on how much is out there and like avoids overspending on something that you might not end up enjoying. I mean, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to enjoy Invincible because I'm having such a good time so far, but yeah. I am still watching the show, but if you have read this and watched the show, the first like 12 issues end in a huge reveal that is kind of given to you right up front in the very first episode of the first season of the show. So that really like made me nervous to continue on and try to be in tandem with the show and the read. So I think once I finish this, which I'm really close, I think we could do it today, I will feel a freedom to like go forth. I'm only a few episodes into season 1, and I think that season 1 will like cover this, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trying, but I don't know. I think it's really cool that they did that, because when you read something and then you watch the adaptation, you're kind of just waiting to see the same thing again, or you don't have any elements of surprise. And so by them doing that and kind of cluing you in as the viewer to something that was a mystery to you as a reader, I think that's a really interesting way to get people who already know the story hooked and on the edge of the seat to understand what's going to happen in the show and to really pay attention, rather than just kind of like secondary consume it because you already know it's supposed to happen. So I think that's great. And that also kind of means that it might be the move to like pause on watching the show and read all the books and then enjoy the show separately, which I didn't think was going to be my thought on it, but I don't know. I like the show. It's definitely different than anything else that I'm watching. I'm not really watching, I don't think, anything else animated, and I haven't watched anything else animated in like years. And it has me wondering, like, the style of it. Is it like somewhat similar to some of the manga shows like that a lot of people are loving? Or am I just that out of touch with like cartoons that it's just a standard cartoon? I don't know. Someone's two most recent US comic reads, Sicko and Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief. So good set in the state you live in. That's so cool that it's set where you live. I have been reading a book called The Dog Sitter that takes place like in my actual town, and it's really, really cool to see like the elements of my community on the pages of a comic book. It's just like super surreal. I liked Invincible but never read the comic. I've actually, like, as I've been posting and like sharing photos of this book while I've been reading it, I've had people like both ways say they like the show but not the book, and they like the book but not the show. And I think that's really interesting. And I wonder if there's a commonality there in like which one people read or watched or like consumed first. So I don't know. I feel like if you watched the show, you're not gonna love reading the book. I don't know. That's just my take on it. Okay, are we ready to do another 15 minutes? Let's get a timer. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself and I will see you on the other side. Okay, we're back. It's been 15 minutes. I just caught up on the chat. And I've actually got a couple of questions, spoiler-free questions about Invincible though. One, if you're collecting the cards, how do they do duplicate? Is there just like a duplicate card, or do you get like Kate 1, 2, 3? You know what I mean? Question. I don't know. That just kind of passed through my head while I was reading this. And then two, not a question at all, but just something funny is two characters in here went to a movie, and I thought it was funny because they went to the concession stand and then they got their snacks, and then they were like, hurry up, we got to pick our seats before all the good ones are taken. And that just, when's the last time you went to a movie and like picked your seat there? Like we do that ahead of time now, and it's just one of those things that I'm not even aware has like changed, but seeing like an older piece of media, I was like, oh yeah, that's different. How'd you guys do? What'd you get done in that 15 minutes? Because I've got seven issues left in here. I don't know. I want to keep reading it, but I also want to mix it up and pick up one of my singles. These are my current options. We've got, as I already mentioned, Daredevil issue 5. I've already read this. Just wanted to show it to you. Chachu issue 1. Killer Influences issue 2. Batwoman issue 6. I still haven't read this. And Spider-Man Brand New Day issue 4. I'm honestly kind of bummed that this got announced as ongoing. Like I wanted it to be a little mini, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I'm having fun with it. I think it was going to be like short and sweet and concise and like intentional, and now I just don't know that that's going to happen. And then furthermore, I wanted to be enjoying the Miles Morales series as an ongoing, and I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to pull this as an ongoing. Like I'm still pulling ASM until we get through whatever the story arc is for the 1000th issue, which I suspect that story will end at like 1004 or 5 or whatever. And then I'm going to take it off my pull list, and I'm going to let Miles Morales be my ongoing pull box Spider-Man book, which means I just don't have room for this. That's kind of tough. Oh, you've got a card with 1 Kate on it and 1 card with 3 Kates on it. That's interesting because I was just thinking about like there being multiple different Kate cards and they're all different numbers of Kate. But that's way cooler. That's 100% the way they should do duplicate. Marvel 1776. Redcoat. I don't know what Redcoat is. I think it's Nate over at Speed Sultan talks about it sometimes. I could be wrong on that, but I've seen it pop up here and there, and everyone who does talk about it really, really likes it, but I don't really have a grasp. Someone did say that they like the comic for Invincible better, but they watched the show first. That's interesting. How's that absolute back verse going? Absolute back verse? Absolute universe backlog. Okay. I'm gonna pick up a single. We're gonna go with Daredevil issue 5. I'm just gonna try and stall on the end of my Invincible book. Okay. Setting a new 15-minute timer right now. back, I read Daredevil, and then I read one more issue of Invincible. I don't want to spoil anything, but this was kind of like a slower issue, which I was kind of fine with, but I did do like a flip back through to make sure I like understood it. It was one of those for me. There's like a great like reunion moment in here, and it is as like dark as the cover kind of hints at it. Like this is all a very dark comic in general, but visually this issue is specifically full of blacks, which is kind of cool. There's also a great like Spidey panel where he's like in Daredevil's head, and it's pretty good. And then as for Invincible, I'm enjoying it so much. Like I don't want to say what's happening, but if you've read it, you know what's happening, and you know where I'm at, and you know why it's kind of hard to stop reading it. Oh, hey, Andre. I get angry eyebrows when I read. Oof, damn. I don't know what that means. I'll have to watch this live back because I've never actually seen myself read. That's weird. What else has everybody been reading? Has anybody finished anything while you've been here? Something that I think I can say is I'm so invested in Oliver. Like I really want to keep seeing where Oliver goes, especially with just finishing issue 42. Hey, Woman of Tomorrow, shout out. That is such a good book. I hope you're enjoying it and that you do finish it here. Awesome, Andre. I haven't seen Scalped, I don't think. But one of your favorites. That's awesome. I'll have to look it up on Comic Geeks after this. That's also kind of tough about doing this is like my phone is you guys, so I'm not like logging anything or like when I finished Daredevil, I like instinctually went to go back and find the QR code to scan for like my digital copy to add it to my library, and I was like, "Oh, my phone's over there." Okay. I think we've got time to do maybe one more reading sprint and then we'll call it. Oh, somebody just read Last Driver. That has been all over the internet this week, and I do kind of have that FOMO moment going on. Playing a game, that's smart. It's another great use of this time. Somebody started reading He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, The Wings of Fate, based on the new film. Hey, adaptation reading. Woman of Tomorrow, your book, my book. Little Bird. I'm not sure what that one is. Another one that I'll have to look up when we're done. Okay. It seems like a few more people kind of just hopped in. So, one more run through in case you did join in the last like 15 minutes of silence. I'm going to set a 15-minute timer and I'm going to put myself on mute and we're just going to read. So, it's been about 2 issues per 15-minute increment for me. But yeah, let's go. I'm going to do one more 15-minute timer and then I'll catch up on the chats and we'll say goodbye. 3 issues left. Somebody else reading Last Driver. Is the like horizontal format distracting because it's so different, or do you not even notice it because like the book still physically feels the same? We've got another person playing a video game, or maybe it's the same person. MJ Armstrong. The dog is currently sleeping like a huge donut on the bed next to me. He's just completely curled up. And I'll take it. If I was a superhero, what is the smallest crime where I'd be like, I'm not wasting my powers on that? Oh, I don't know, like parking tickets. Oh, that's great. Somebody gave a comic recommendation for Assassin's Creed for somebody who was looking for that. Hey, Alaska, nice to see you. I see you've been posting a lot too. Zach, are you saying that Daredevil was distracting for you, or that Last Driver was distracting for you? Yeah, I can imagine that like having this for like driving scenes and just like the orientation of cars or like multiple cars would be like elevated compared to only having this much like distance in a panel. That's also another thing. As I've gotten more into this, there have been a lot more like full page spreads, which are really cool, and like single complete pages, but also like left and right continuous. What is that called? Like genuinely full page. And that's been cool to see. I hope that that kind of like continues on as I keep going. Okay. Somebody asked what I do for work, and my job for work is social media, not my own, but like I do social media for a company, and that's my job, which is why I enjoy doing this because a lot of the like technical aspects of it are just kind of like second nature to me. So I can really focus on reading and talking and building community and conversating with different people and finding recommendations, giving recommendations, hanging out, all of that stuff. I'm not distracted trying to think about how to build a post or how to go live or just like technicalities, I guess, like I said earlier. Oh, yeah, storing it might be a pain for that horizontal book. I don't know, like it's the same like size, right? So maybe you just have like a weird, do you put the binding at the top or the bottom? I don't know. How are you guys doing it? Zach kept holding the Last Driver the wrong way, trying to show it off. No, I can see that, especially if your camera was like mirrored too. You have like a double situation. Oh no. Astro Josh, reading manga and US comics, so used to reading all different orientations and digital. Hey, actually, in the video that I just posted, where I was talking about 15 different comic books that are like really on my list of like ideal reads or things I want to get to, but I just haven't found yet or taken the time to do it. I mentioned that I think that for a lot of the older DC and Marvel stuff, I would love to like finally get a digital subscription and pour through those that way. And then after I read things, decide if I want to purchase them rather than purchase them to read them. Because what if I don't like them? I feel like the stakes are that much higher because the older stuff is more expensive, harder to find, bigger formats, etc. That I don't want to like go out on that limb. But my current predicament with reading digitally, because I would also currently love to be reading digitally from my library. Some people were pointing that out too in the comments, but I don't have a tablet. So obviously reading digitally on the phone I think is going to be like a horrible experience. But let me know if you do that and it's fine. I don't think it would be good. And then also I think that like reading on the laptop would also not be super enjoyable, but would be better than the phone. So let me know what your guys' preferred like devices are for reading digitally. Are you all just using like iPads, or what's the life hack there? Yeah, no advertisements in collected comics. That is huge, and like for sure why I'm reading so fast here. And another reason why I think that reading like this collected book is going faster for me too is quite simply not having to like untape my bag, pull the book out, read it, gently put it back away, grab the next one, do it again. Like I think that also is saving a ton of time between reads. And like in the evenings before bed, I usually read for like an hour or so, and it totally depends if it's going to be like comics or like regular books, but I will just like prop this up on my legs and I will just like go and not realize how much time has passed. Whereas when I'm reading like individual issues, I kind of have a good grasp of like one or two means like 10 to 15 minutes have passed, and so I kind of know how long I've been reading for. But with anything collected, it enables me to just like go, and I might look at the clock and it will be like incredibly late. Take the gamble because it's hard to get into digital reading because feeling pages is just a lot better. Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that's why I like haven't necessarily been like urgent about pursuing it because I don't know, like I just love like holding the book in my hands, feeling the pages, and honestly, like smelling them. They smell really good. Comic books, regular books, they smell good, and that's like part of the physical reading experience. And I don't know, what do you have going for you reading digitally physically? Nothing. You have like fingerprints bothering you, I guess. But you can't argue with like it's a great way to save space. It's a great way to try new things with like really low stakes. There are a ton of pros to it. But yeah, I don't think that overall it would be better than reading physically. Someone saying they use their tablet. Someone else, Alaska, you're saying Invincible's on your to be read list. I loved reading it in this compendium format, for all of the things I just said about how it's like enabled me to just kind of like cruise through it. But I mean, I only have the first two books right here, and look how much comic book that is. So imagine like a third one over here. I can't imagine trying to collect that in like smaller versions or let alone singles. So if you are looking to get into Invincible, I like highly recommend going with this format, and you can find them relatively cheap. I got this one from Panelbound Comics, and I purchased a what is it called? Like a kind of busted version for a discounted price. And the only problems were, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little bit of a smashed corner and one down here. But like, I'm gonna read it anyways. I'm gonna lug it around anyways. I'm gonna like set it down on things anyways. Like, if you are willing to look around, you can find the bigger, more expensive formats for really cheap. And I said earlier that with this second one, I just tracked it down on Marketplace, and like it's not perfect either. We've got like a little bit of a bent corner here. We've got some like minor creasing in the spine. I guess you can see this one. But like books are to read. Someone started reading Green Lantern Rebirth Omni, and I can't put it down. That is interesting. As I've been getting more into DC, I've been really curious about both New 52 and like the Rebirth era of things. Someone reserved Invincible Volume 1 from the library, but they're so slow with comics. Yeah, I feel that. And if your library is anything like mine, sometimes the books aren't coming like from your specific library. They're coming from like a neighboring town or something like that, which is great because it means you have a larger selection, but sometimes it takes a long time. And you're also always at the mercy of people turning them in. And I think people don't know how to pace themselves with library books. Okay, Astro Josh says that reading on a phone can vary, but they love panel and panel mode. So like not seeing it as a page, but seeing it as an individual panel. Is that what you're saying? Ryan's preference is real pages, but several years ago, they bought a wild amount of digital comics from Amazon, so every once in a while, they dive into the digital collection for a while. I think that's smart, like, that is saving you so much space, and I'm sure it saved you a lot of money too, and, like, I'm not above or below or I'm not any way, unwilling to kind of, like, double up on something. Like, if I have like a standout issue from something that I have in a collected version, I will still seek out that individual issue. Or if I like a series that I have like completely in trades, I'm always kind of looking for like the first few issues or favorite covers. A few months ago, I secured a first printing first issue of Deadly Class, which was like bliss to me because that's one of my favorite comic books and I only have it and I only read it in the trade format. So to get that like individual single issue, that's pretty monumental for like my collection. But yeah, it was me doubling up on it. Green Arrow. I have not read a single Green Arrow thing. I don't even know where I would start. Okay, yeah. Gary saw physical volume 1 of Absolute Batman, 12 pounds on Kindle. Oh, 12 pounds, but on Kindle is like 2. Yeah, I believe that. I fully believe that because like that's the thing about digital purchases is like you're not necessarily owning the thing at all, so they can't charge the same. But if you want to like feel those pages and whatnot, to me it's worth that extra $10 or whatever it may be. And Asho, Josh, I feel like you're probably saying that all of the big subscriptions have like panel mode. Yeah, that might be like somewhere to start and just see if I even enjoy reading digitally. But I don't know, I could just see it being the exact opposite of what I said with these, where it's like enables me to just like fly through. Do you read faster digitally, people, or do you read slower? Okay, so honestly, that was a lot more reading than I really thought we were going to get to. I didn't pick up as many of my single issues that I was hoping to because I'm just really sucked into Invincible. I'm getting really hungry though, so I'd like to go have some lunch. I hope that you guys all had a great time reading, that you keep reading once this live ends, and just have a good weekend. Thanks for hanging out.